Well, on to the details now. U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and Democratic opponent Kamala Harris will debate on September 10th on ABC, setting up the first face-to-face matchup between the rivals in what polls show is an extremely close race. In a news conference at his Florida residence, Trump said he wanted additional debates on September 4th and September 25th that would air on Fox and NBC. The news conference was Trump's first public appearance since Harris selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate on Tuesday.
I think it's very important to have debates, and we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement subject to them, on September 10th, and we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those three dates, and those networks, they're very anxiously awaiting that date and those dates. So we have September 4th, September 10th, and September 25th.
Well, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris has confirmed that she will attend the ABC debate on September 10th. Talking to reporters, Harris said she looks forward to debating Trump.
I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it, and hope he shows up.
Are you open to more debate?
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th, for sure.
Well, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris is in the battleground state of Arizona today as she continues to launch a campaign for the White House with a whirlwind tour of the country. Having addressed tens of thousands of people at rallies in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin and Michigan this week, the presidential candidate headed west overnight alongside her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. In a bid to steal back the limelight, former President Donald Trump held a news conference at his Florida estate, slamming his rival for the Oval Office in a lengthy freewheeling speech littered with false statements, which the Harris camp called a, quote, public meltdown. Benji has been watching for more.
A tale of two campaigns, really. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have been bringing what they see as a message of hope and optimism to the United States, pulling in huge crowds nationwide. They met with union workers on Thursday before jetting off to campaign events in Arizona and California. Contrast that with Donald Trump, who took a leaf out of the book of fear and division, calling the US a sick country and peddling the prospect of World War III.
I think that our country is right now in the most dangerous position it's ever been in from an economic standpoint, from a safety standpoint. We have a lot of bad things coming up. You could end up in a depression of the 1929 variety, which would be a devastating thing. Took many years, took decades to recover from it. And we're very close to that, and we're very close to a world war. In my opinion, we're very close to a world war. We have people that don't know how to handle it.
Were Harris to win November's election, it was a stark split-screen moment, but one that Trump intended in his first public appearance since the Democratic Party ticket was confirmed. The Republican nominee keen to show himself facing the media, unlike Vice President Harris, who hasn't done a sat-down interview in front of the press in weeks. A set of debates proposed for next month will, Trump says, set the record straight. His comments on Thursday were otherwise rambling and at times misleading, claiming he had more people attend the attempted insurrection on January 6, 2021, when a mob stormed the US Capitol in a deadly riot to overturn the election outcome. More people there, he says, than Martin Luther King had at his famous I Have a Dream speech. He also appeared to conflate, perhaps intentionally, refugees and asylum seekers with those from insane asylums. He hit out at Jewish Democrat voters and at Harris's biracial identity. Her campaign clipped up those remarks for social media. Harris and her vice presidential pick Tim Walz, described by Trump as incompetent radical leftists, are hoping to build on her honeymoon period momentum ahead of her party's national convention later this month, but they have no such news conference planned. Benji Haya in Washington, reporting for DD India.